Yo, 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 yo. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Maxandjuancast Top 5 Prospects Series. Welcome back. Max, how you feeling, my brother?
Doing good, man. I'm worried about this one. I've literally been telling you, I'm not sure about this list. I'm not sure. I'm doubting myself. I always feel like this is the biggest discrepancy we have. No? This category. I mean, Receivers. First of all, there's like 10 good ones in this draft. There's plenty of good ones. And there's going to be a guy who we really undervalue who's going to be good.
I think I got the perfect thing to sum this whole receiver draft class.
I mean, it's all right.
I mean, honestly, bro, it's all right. But you know what's not all right? And that's amazing.
What's like...
Nice.
The channel, bro.
Yeah, this podcast.
This podcast, bro.
This friendship.
Exactly.
This love affair. It's torrid.
Too much love in the air.
Okay,
right?
Sorry.
All right, I know we back in the dungeon, but
candle lit,
candles lit,
neon lit,
neon lit. But subscribe to the channel, bro. Helps out a lot. Hit that like button. It's a free, easy way to spread the word of the podcast,
and the
bro. love, bro. But hit the notification button for anytime we drop a banger like this one. You'll get a notification, bro. And you'll get a notification when we go live on draft day, day one, all 32 picks, all raw reactions.
It's going to be raw.
And maybe special guests. If you live in the LA area, bro, come on down. Maybe we'll have you on as a guest.
Come on, homeless guy from the corner.
Exactly. See how fucking hard it is to fucking be wrong on some prospects, man. We dropping the receipts right now. We making our receipts for each of these prospects. Top 5, at least. All right. So we got some strong opinions. Got some, common opinions. We got all types of shit around here. All right. Let's get into it. Receivers. All right. One of the flashiest positions out there. Get paid a lot of money. They're always different every year.
It seems to be the position to be. You don't want to be a running back anymore. You want to be a receiver for sure. How do you think this receiver class stacks up from last year? And I just mentioned like a second ago, I'm like, man, Drake London, Garrett Wilson, Traylon Burks, Pickens, Chris Olave, John Mechie, Sky Moore, Christian Watson. Man, I don't want to say this receiving group doesn't stack up, but offhand, it just doesn't look like there's the blue chippers.
Yeah.
We talked about in the quarterbacks, what's the range? If that video hasn't come out, I'm sorry, you'll see what I might mean, but where's the first receiver go? Is there going to be a guy in the top 8, top 10 this year? I would say no. I would definitely say no.
It's going to be really hard. I would say this, Max. All 5 of my guys, first rounders. I'm confident in that.
I would say there's 4, maybe just the 3 of mine are first rounder. If you factor, by the way, real quick, we're going to do the tight ends at the end of this video.
Yes.
I should mention that real quick.
Yes.
I think there's just as many top first round tight ends as there are receivers. Book.
Not a hot take.
So, there'll be plenty of pass catchers, just won't be all receivers.
And our first tight end evaluation.
Yeah. It's not Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. So we'll title this receivers, but you know what? We'll probably cut out a single portion on when we talk tight ends as a clip, you know? But we wanted to throw in at least 3 of these guys into the conversation at the end, see how they stack up, because tight end class is stacked this year. It ain't no fucking pushover.
No, sir.
It's fucking stacked. A lot better than the receiver class. Let's go ahead and get into it, okay? We're going to start off with our list. Number 1 for me, Jordan Addison, off bat. Number 2, Zay Flowers out of Florida State. Sorry, not Florida State. Boston College. Got the colors wrong. Sorry. Number 3, Jaxon Smith, Ohio State. 4, Quentin Johnston, TCU. And number 5, Jalin Hyatt out of Tennessee.
Wow. Okay. It's debating. Okay, so number 1 for me, Jalin Hyatt out of Tennessee.
Wait, Max. You can change it right now.
No.
I know you've been flipping shit around.
Locked in.
You locked in?
Number 2, Jaxon Smith-Njigba. I'm not like 1. I don't forget your last name. 3, Quentin Jonhston from TCU. 4, Marvin Mims, Oklahoma. 5, Zay Flowers.
Wow. Shocked. Absolutely shocked. I can't believe you got Jalin Hyatt number 1, Max.
Yeah, me too. No, I I see a lot of top end potential with him, and it's mixed in with the biggest college stupid offense. And you can maybe attest to let me jump in. You usually jump in first.
No, go ahead. I think this one we can go anywhere because we got a lot to talk about. And I think the biggest thing is, why do you have Jalin Hyatt number one?
Well, one, he's just got the traits, man. And yeah, he's really light. He's like 180 or 175.
Speed demon. The
4.4 I thought's a hair slow because he plays faster. Yeah, you can watch the Alabama game. You can and say like, oh, well, that's not realistic. But, he's running by these top end guys. Whether you want to admit it or not, there might not be a top 10 corner in Alabama, but all those guys are blue chippers. Yeah. And it's not him to control. And maybe there's some recency bias when it comes to guys like Quentin Jonhston, who last year I undervalued. And I was like, well, he's running by everybody, and he's in North Dakota State. Well, those guys are running by everybody in the SEC. So that, to me, offhand is going to translate to the NFL. He has a nice comeback route he sets up off the go. Because you're so worried about speed with this guy, right? Yeah. You're so freaking worried this guy's going to run by you. And a lot of the top guys, I would say you're not really worried about as much as him. Like Quentin Johnston, I don't know what he's going to run. He didn't run at the combine. He's not going to be faster than Jalin Hyatt. I'm thinking he's more 4.5s. He's not really going to.
Wow, really?
Quentin Johnston? Yeah, I don't think he's that fast. I really don't think he's that.
I think he's a 4.4 guy easily.
More closer to the high 4.4s, I'd imagine. But that's my thinking. He really tracks the ball well. He's light, but I like his frame. You know what I mean? I think he could add on 10 pounds of muscle here and there, get in the NFL room. But you want him to be fast. Yeah. The things I don't like about him. This college offense is the biggest piece of shit. The biggest piece of dog shit.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
It's just like,
that
here's
I
a
have ever
stack
heard.
look. And, there's another guy on Tennessee named Cedric Tillman.
Yeah.
Who was very close to making it for me. He was out pretty much the whole year, but he still got the job done without him. I mean, teams knew it was going to Jalin Hyatt. They just couldn't stop him. You didn't see him really play against press that much. A lot of teams are just
Who the fuck would press?
Who would press him? First of all, no one in college plays defense anymore. Two, he's not really the greatest jump ball guy, and the route running is really raw. But I think you can teach route running. People are going to say, oh, some guys have the net. I think he has a natural hip flexibility. That he's not that stiff there. So to me, he's just the biggest weapon in this draft, and I'm really valuing like, hey, say what you want about, certain guys. If you can get a guy who can scare you deep and kind of open up the offense, that's valuable. Because it's kind of like we talked about with Tyreek Hill. It's not necessarily that he's going to burn you every play, but the fact that he could, you have to be ready for it anytime. And that, to me, is so valuable in today's NFL. If you pair him with a big arm quarterback, he's going to be really scary. Yeah. Like if Green Bay kept Aaron Rodgers, I'd be like, let's go get Jalin Hyatt. Let's go get Christian Watson, Jalin Hyatt. Let's scare some teams. Well, this is what he is. He's the scariest guy to me. Yeah. Scariest two ways, though, because he's really raw, college offense. He's not really a big jump ball guy. And you don't really get to see him run with the ball in his hands unless he's already behind everybody. Yeah. So he's not the perfect prospect. Let's say this, he wouldn't make my top 5 lap. He might sneak into the top 5 from last year. But I also learned my lesson from Christian Watson because you were higher on Christian Watson than I was. Joey was blowing the guy practically. So this guy to me, he's Mike Wallace, a smaller Christian Watson.
Lot to unpack from that. I get what you're saying. Speed kills.
He's explosive athlete too. The vertical, the broad jump. It's all top
He's
level.
A smooth athlete.
Very smooth.
He's not. It's not like it's like wonky speed. You know what I mean? Like out there, he's a smooth glider when he's moving. Mm-hmm. A little bit more willing to block than you think. Yeah.
How'd you feel about his hands? I didn't see that many drops.
No, they're not the best. It's not like, oh my god,
not Michael Thomas hands, but good hands.
Exactly. No, he has good hands, but he was the most willing to block out of all the receivers. I wouldn't say he's a good blocker.
There's one guy I disagree with. There's one guy in Ole Miss who's just like, oh my goodness.
But look, man, he's a major project when it comes to being like an X receiver, you know, like the alpha. But I think the best comp for him is Will Fuller or like a Quez Watkins. And you've seen those guys have some success and big playability, but would you do it again and pick Will Fuller? No.
No, but again, you would say no because of the injuries. You wouldn't say no because when he was on, he was on.
I don't think Jalin, like, come on, 6 foot, 176.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary. It's really scary, man. But I just like the kid a lot.
Yeah, he's going to be a weapon. It's just not enough for me. Like, it's a big discrepancy here in our list. I got Jalin Hyatt at 5. I understand he's a big weapon. Most definitely got to put him on my list. It's just, man, I wouldn't spend any sort of like big value.
I really wish I switched Jaxon Smith to number 1 because I think I like him more. Mm-hmm. But if I saw him run, because I have an idea what he runs. I didn't see him run, and it kind of scares me he didn't run. Mm-hmm. That right there makes me think he's a hair slow, but I really like Jaxon Smith too. I probably like him more than I like Jalin Hyatt. I have less questions about this. Yeah. But if you get this guy and he hits, he's going to hit really big.
Yeah. But he could definitely be something in the NFL. I don't doubt that. Like you said, his speed and his ability to stretch the field is going to be valuable. So on that aspect, we agree on. But my number 1 guy is Jordan Addison. And this is more of me staying put on what I thought last year. Because if you would have asked me last year this question, like the top guys who are going to come out, I would be like, fuck, man, I think Jaxon Smith and Jordan Addison are better than Drake London and Christian Watson and almost that whole receiver class last year. That's how I truly felt about these guys.
I remember telling you when I watched Kenny Pickett, I'm like, who's this guy he's throwing to? And you're like, oh, that's Jordan Addison. He's going to USC. Yeah. And I was like, wow. And then when I watched the tape, I was just very underwhelmed this year.
He did not have that good of a year. Now, the good thing about Jordan Addison is that we have tape from this year. Jaxon Smith didn't play this year.
Yeah, he played 2 games.
Exactly. So, Jordan Addison, to me, route runner fucking tech. Like, he's amazing at it. One of the best in this class. Sweet feet, fluid hips, great with the ball in his hands. Seems to be just fast enough. He's not a burner. He's not Jalin Hyatt, obviously, but I do think he has some speed to him.
I was very underwhelmed by his speed on film, and then when he ran the 40, I thought he'd at least clock in with a faster one. And then I heard he's hurt, so I'm interested to see because when we're taping this, we haven't seen the USC Pro Day, and I would have loved to see that just to kind of back it up. Again, I think he's a guy who's quicker than he is fast. I really like the way he's able to move in and out of breaks. Spoiler alert: he's 6. Yeah. He's very close to being on the list for me. To me, it was just like, man, he's a really small frame. He doesn't have much catching radius. He's not like a type of guy who's like that. I think he's a really good slot. Really good slot guy.
There's a lot of really good slots.
That's why I kind of put some preference on Hyatt, who I think can win on the outside too. Maybe I should have said that, but I think Addison's a guy who's going to do really good things in the slot. I'm worried about him playing against strong corners or corners that get up in his face and just want to throw him around.
Can get bullied at times.
Yeah.
And the size, 5'11", 173, another light guy in the ass.
You kind of want to think without the speed, are like how teams are just going to get up in him and just want to throw him around. And, you can say guys like Julian Edelman's not that fast. Julian Edelman was so elite in and out of breaks. I don't know if this guy is that. Yeah. And Julian Edelman was pretty built. He was strong.
I just think the Pitt tapes, the
Pitt tape is so much better.
Yes, but it answers a lot of questions that we have right now.
Yeah,
but you're like,
you would think with the Heisman Trophy, Caleb Williams presumed number 1 pick. And I was like, well, are they going to throw the ball to this guy at some point? And then when I saw him, I didn't see the separation I saw in Pitt when it came to getting open.
They used them a lot different in USC though. They used them in a lot of different ways. Speed sweeps. Wide receiver reverses, a lot of wide receiver screens. In Pitt, he was more of the typical receiver, and you've seen a lot of that stuff that we're saying right now. But I love the kid, man. I really do. I think a lot of the testing that got done in the combine was a lot of due to injury. I think he toughed it out. He wasn't a little bitch about it. He was like, I'm gonna go out here. I'm gonna do my work. I'm not gonna fucking skip out on all this. I'm gonna tell teams like, I'm a competitor, bro. I want to get out there and do it.
Who did you have for a player comp for him?
I had Calvin Ridley and Devontae Smith's body.
I put Jahan Dotson / Robert Woods. Robert Woods, the earlier part, people don't remember, like when he was on the Rams, and he was really good on the Rams, especially when he got the ball in his hands. Yeah. I think you're going to kind of, if you get Jordan Addison, you're going to kind of have to scheme him open a little bit rather than just letting him go.
I love that you brought that up because I put in my notes, needs to be in an offense where motion is key, kind of like a Stephon Diggs, moving them all over the fucking place.
I should have probably said this before, but I don't feel like any of these receivers can just line them up.
Alphas.
Just win.
There's one guy. in my opinion.
I actually have one guy too, and it's not even my number one. It's more like my number one is so much more dangerous because of the speed. But when it comes down to it, there's no Calvin. There's no blue chipper. I thought Jaxon Smith-Njigba was going to be a blue chipper when I saw it. I was like, oh, you scare me. Scare me here. I don't see you win on the outside a lot. Yeah. You're in a stacked offense. No one's worried about you that much. That's just it's just the receiver class in general. I think there's a lot of top end twos, and maybe my top two guys can be ones. That's how I feel about it.
So what if Jordan Addison winds up on Kansas City?
Yeah, that would be a very interesting thing. How do you say it's not going to work with Andy Reid But again, I don't see a lot of special from Jordan Addison. I see a lot of that's really good.
I see special with Pitt.
That's good. I saw more special with Pitt than I did USC, but you would think it would have transferred over. Yeah, that's just how I feel.
I just find it crazy, bro, that you don't have him on the list. And
he's 6. I find it crazy you're so low on Jalin Hyatt when he's got so many rosters.
He's 5.
He's so low on the list.
I know, because he's your number 1.
Yeah, he's so low.
But you want your number 2 at number 1. I can kind of feel it.
I do because...
Let's talk about it. Jaxon Smith-Njigba.
Thank you.
Ohio State, 6 foot, 196. Some of the pros I had for him: slot monster, short area quickness, great hands when catching contested balls over the middle, at least. Not really.
To back up the elite short area quickness, 3-cone, fastest in like 10 years.
You know, Joey loved that 3-cone.
Oh God, Joey's probably just beating off to him.
Nice.
3-cone, 6.57, 97th percentile. 20-yard shuttle, 3.93, 97%.
Nice.
And
very nice.
That shows up when he's running routes. He's in and out of the breaks quick, and I love him with the ball. Much better with the ball than I thought. And the thing that sucks is he did all this the year before because he played 2 games, hurt his hamstring, and was like, I think my draft stock will be fine, which kind of sucks for the evaluation process, but you know, it's just what it is, I guess. I mean, you would never hear that story 5 years ago, 6 years ago. But I think with the COVID, and it was like, hey, Jamar Chase didn't play football for a whole year, and he's the 5th pick in the draft. I think we're good.
Right.
I love how he plays through contact. Really like it.
Yeah, like I said, contested balls over the middle, at least, you know, catching those type. But to me, I don't think he's that amazing with the ball in his hands. I think there's guys in this class that are a lot better with the ball in their hands than him. He's just not all that good of a crazy athlete, you know.
So
he's a 2-level player.
So I think he's going to be a guy who's quicker than he is fast. Mm-hmm. If he came to the combine and ran a 4.39 or a 4.42, because this reminded me of Justin Jefferson in the pre-draft situation. And I know they're going to say, Justin Jefferson, look how good he is now. Coming out, guys, if you don't remember, if there's any young viewers, you remember, everyone was like, we don't know if he can win on the outside. He's just a slot guy. How fast is he? He runs a 4.42. People are like, holy shit, we thought he was running 4.55. And it kind of changed the trajectory of where he was going to get picked. Yeah. And it kind of made me think like, damn, that's really fast. And if Jaxon Smith-Njigba had a similar thing, I was going to be a lot more confident on the outside. But since he hasn't run, it just kind of makes me think you're going to be a slot-only guy. He can be really good at that. But I just don't know about winning on the outside. And, you know, you play with C.J. Stroud, you play with Fields, you're never the number 1 guy.
Look, he's never going to be an alpha. That's the way I see it. And look, I told you this earlier before we even did the recording and we were talking about receivers really early. I was like, put it this way. If you're Baltimore, do you draft them? Fuck no.
If you're Baltimore, do you draft any receiver, though? Like, what receiver are you going to say other than maybe?
I would have a better chance swallowing that pill with Jordan Addison or with a Quentin Johnston than a Jalin Hyatt and...
I think Jalin Hyatt's what they need, Baltimore.
Or a Jaxon Smith.
I think Jalin Hyatt's what they need in Baltimore, though.
Yeah, but Jalin Hyatt, what is he going to be? Marquise Brown?
That's what they need. They need someone to
They traded him. They obviously don't.
Because he didn't want to stay there because he didn't want to play with Lamar. But that's fine. That's whatever. So my whole point with Jaxon Smith is I think he has the potential to be a number 1. But again, I'm a little more skeptical than I was if I had all the numbers. And I got and I know the 40 doesn't always count because guys like Cooper Kupp didn't run a fast 40, right? But he's just so fluid in and out. Antonio Brown, the player, not the gremlin, he's not a guy who had a fast 40, and he could win on the outside because he was so fluid in and out of the breaks. And you know what? He got faster in the NFL. Yeah. What did AB run at the 40? Like 4.6? Mm-hmm. So it's not always the end-all, be-all. But this guy, you know, I would have liked to see him winning on the outside in college, which you don't really see a lot of.
Well, you know what? A little bit of it was he played with
Yeah.
great guys
Yeah.
that were really good on the outside. And it's kind of weird. You hear about Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson talk about him. You know, they've had like interviews like, what do you guys think is the best athlete out of you guys? And they're like, probably Jaxon Smith. Really?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like,
And
Chris
this-
Olave, do you not know that you have a fucking rocket up your ass?
And it's telling to me that he did everything but run the 40. Because if you were going to tear it up, you're going to run it.
Yeah.
You're going to run it.
Yeah.
So,
But it brings me to this on tape. What I seen, it was more of him sometimes getting to a spot because he knows he's gonna be open, than really like working on his game at times.
I hear you. And you know, they're always outmatched every other team, and most teams don't have three corners. And like if he plays against Georgia, maybe they win. Who's your player comp?
Had Keenan Allen, but smaller.
I love the Keenan Allen. I put Pierre Garçon, just a guy who's just kind of that's a weird one.
I don't think he's good with the ball in his hands.
Pierre Garçon wasn't really that good with this ball in his hands, to be honest. In the beginning part, yeah, I think he's better than what you think though with the ball.
Probably
in his
like
hands.
later on in his career.
Yeah, but I also think he does have the the running after the catch. He's not Debo. So let's be real. He's not Cooper Kupp, but he's good.
Yeah,
he's good.
So
you had him at 3, right?
I had him at 3.
Okay, and you had Zay Flowers at 2.
Zay Flowers, who I wanted so bad to put him at number 1. I fell in love with this guy. Zay Flowers, Boston College, 5'9", 182. Little small motherfucker, but you know what? He is bulked up. He reminds me a lot of the body type of a Tyreek Hill, of Kenny Walker, these short, stocky motherfuckers, bro.
Did you like have a trouble picking between him and Josh Downs, or like because they're very similar in height and stature?
Yeah, but
Downs is skinny.
Two completely different.
Yeah, this guy is like a muscled up little guy.
Yeah, he's yoked up, bro. Pros, explosive. This dude's like a running back with the ball in his hands. Ball skills like crazy. Reminds me a lot of Antonio Brown on how he attacks the ball in the air. Great route runner in all levels. That's the difference with him and Jaxon Smith. He can go deep. He can work over the middle, and he can do those little short, little like smoke routes and stuff.
Yeah,
like a bang route or something. But I love Zay Flowers, bro. Some of the cons, obviously the size. Everyone's gonna talk about the size. The 5'9", 182. I do think he's gonna be a little bit bigger when it's all said and done. And he's muscular. Like I said, he's not frail. Jordan Addison is frail. Jaxon Smith, kind of frail.
Sounds like you want your number 2 guy to be your number 1 also.
I know. Tell me about it. Another con about him that's kind of scary. He has issues with drops.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to come back from bad hands. In all honesty, I have him at 5, and what made me really put him there was I think this guy only wins in the slot. I don't think this guy, you spread him out wide and say, here you go beat Jalen Ramsey, go beat Xavier Howard, go beat Derek Stingley, go beat Sauce Gardner, whoever the corner is. That's to me what just separated me and just threw him all the way down. While I have some belief in the top 3 guys winning on the outside, maybe the 4th guy, this guy specifically, I'm like, you're a slot-only guy because he's so small. He doesn't have the greatest speed in the world. I know he's a good athlete, he's explosive, but he's not the fastest guy in the world, which is just because, I'm afraid a corner's going to get up in his face and say, let's go dance, mini man.
I think I've seen it on tape. Guys have tried to press them, and they got the shit kicked out of them.
Yeah.
And maybe it's the competition. That's part of it. But the Shrine Bowl, he fucking dominated in drills over there. I think he can be a little bit like Tyler Lockett on the outside. A guy that can catch deep balls and fucking dominate like that, bro.
I think you could use him as a weapon too, like give him a speed sweep and give him
That's
a little.
what I'm saying. There's so much stuff.
He reminds me a little bit of Isaiah McKenzie with the frame and stuff, but I think he's a souped up Isaiah because I don't think Isaiah has the ability to run with the ball and be like this guy could actually like kind of power through people.
To me, he's a mixture of a lot of stuff. I mentioned the Tyler Lockett aspect, but I think he has Tyreek's body as far as his muscular self, but short. And I think he has the speed of Antonio Brown, because Antonio Brown wasn't a fast guy, but he can jump ball with the best of them. He's one of the best with the ball in his hands, and he's just a flat-out playmaker.
The only thing between him and AB is this guy has questionable hands where AB had really good hands. Yeah. So that's going to be the thing. And I like his body control when it comes to toe taps, contorting for the ball.
One of the best with the ball in the air, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
As small as he is.
I almost want to say Quentin Johnston could learn a thing or two from him.
Yes, most definitely. But love Zay Flowers, man. I really did want to put him at number 1, but I stuck with what I stuck with last year. I didn't want the pit tape from Jordan Addison to get erased from my memory because I really did love Jordan Addison coming out of pit. Mm-hmm. And I hope it's just the injuries, but for now, going into it, I got Jordan Addison 1, Zay Flowers 2, and you had Zay Flowers number 5. I'm just glad you got him on your list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it was close between him and Jordan Addison. I chose him over Jordan.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about your number 4, and then we'll tie in Quentin Johnston because we have them really close to each other.
Where's he on yours again?
I have Quentin Johnston at 4. You have Quentin Johnston at 3, but you have Marvin Mims at 4. So let's talk a little bit about Marvin Mims and why he's on your list.
Okay. So, 5'11", 183 pounds. He's not like ripped or brick, like super hard, like hard body. He's a skinny guy.
Right.
4.38 speed, 39.5 vertical. Just really explosive player. We've been thinking about Oklahoma with guys like Kyler Murray, Rattler, whatever that was there. They had someone else recently, but this Oklahoma team was really bad. They lost Lincoln Riley to USC, and he unfortunately had one of the worst quarterbacks I've seen in a long time. I didn't like the way the guy played. I felt like this guy got open so much and the ball's just like underthrown or something. That's just what I got. Did you get something different from the?
No, to me, I don't think he has any special traits, man.
Well, that's right. That's where I constantly see him behind defenses. I like he's got strong hands. He'll go up for the ball.
Kind of a little bit like Josh Downs.
Yeah. He plays bigger than the 5'11". He's a really good special teams player. Yeah, he's small. He's slight. He's not the best route runner, but you know what? We have coaches. We can teach him some knickknacks of route running, some little niches of route running. He's not gonna, he's not like 6'5", super long arms to the ground, catch radius. He's not that, and you can worry about the play training. Get up in his face and shove him. This is the guy I said was like Tyler Lockett in a sense because he gets behind defenses. He's small. He's not the route runner, but we can work on that. Yeah. And I just really liked he got open a lot. Yeah. He just got open, and his speed's a real thing.
I think a lot of these guys, Max, it's just depending on where they go. It's going to be very, very key.
Yeah, no one should go to Baltimore. I don't think Baltimore's the place.
Or Chicago, maybe.
Maybe not there.
Yeah.
I just think you're undervaluing the speed he brings to the table and the fact he gets open and he's solid with the ball in his hands. Yeah. He doesn't have drops, solid hands. So there was nothing about him that screamed I think he's got a really high floor. I think he's really good. He's like a Tyler Lockett to me. He can get behind defenses. He can scare you with speed, and then the speed sets up the rest of the stuff.
Yeah. A guy that wasn't on my list that kind of sounds like him, but he's a lot smaller. Josh Downs, North Carolina, 5'9", 171. Sounds a lot like you're saying with attacks the ball in the air, at a really good rate, and he's small. And you're like, what is that guy doing? Beats press a lot, gets open a lot, faster than you think. A lot of good things about Marvin Mims and Josh Downs.
Yeah, I think Marvin Mims is one of the sleepers of this draft. Yeah. I think he's really underrated.
And that's how I feel about Josh Downs.
Okay. Yeah. I get that logic, yeah, 100%.
What's your comp again? Tyler Lockett, right?
Tyler Lockett, yeah. Just these 5'11" guys. You can see maybe a faster Christian Kirk, just fast guy. Who can get open.
And obviously, you know how I feel about Jordan Addison. That's why Marvin Mims didn't.
Really, I get it.
Because I would say Marvin Mims and Josh Downs to me, 1A, 1B.
No, I hear you.
Okay, let's talk about
this guy.
Some of the most opposite things, really, about this guy. You hear really good things, and then you hear really bad things. Quentin Johnston, TCU.
6'3", 210, 40-inch vert, 134-inch broad jump, which is top of the marks. But, for a guy who's so big, you'd be like, oh, this guy, just throw it up to him.
Right.
And he's like, let me body catch it. let me just Terrence Williams the hell out of this ball. you know, he runs like a running back sometimes through tacklers. He's like, just give me the ball. I'm going to run through these guys. That's just some of the stuff I like. Reminded me of Drake London in that way.
I think he's special when it comes to that aspect.
I don't know how fast he is. I have no clue. I thought it was high 4.4s to low 4.5s, which is fine. He's 6'3". Yeah. You don't need him to be 4'3". That'd be awesome, but it's not. Mm-hmm. He's got these long-ass arms. But again, sometimes I'm like, do you know you're 6'3"? Are you aware of this fact? And I wanted him to out-physical guys in the air, but he doesn't.
Okay.
Or the route. And Max Duggan sucks balls.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit
My
that I have
wrote
ever
in
heard.
caps, Max Duggan sucks. This guy cannot... Like, the few good balls he got that were jump balls, he didn't go up for him like I thought he would. Yeah. By the time it's like, oh, it's underthrown.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit
Max
that
Duggan,
I have ever
bro.
heard.
Fucking terrible. It pissed me off because a lot of the film on Quentin Johnston, if you guys want to pop it up, like, it's him getting open and the ball doesn't get there.
No, it's skipped. He skips the ball to him.
Or he runs.
Yeah, at TCU, it's a shitty offense. It's college. I didn't really get to see him play that much against press, and like his hands are questionable. I really think that.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't attack the ball like a guy who's 6'3" should. Yeah. And he's got a 40-inch vert.
Yeah, he doesn't high point the ball at all.
Like another big guy, Cedric Tillman, attacks the ball way better.
Yeah.
And I get you can coach that up, but some guys just don't have the mentality like, I'm going to go get the damn ball.
Yeah.
Like he's finesse. He's just so finesse. He reminded me of Demaryius Thomas. Rest in peace, dude.
That's my
People don't remember Demaryius Thomas 6'3", but he played like a guy who's 6'1".
Yeah.
Tell me an instance where you remember Demaryius Thomas going up and mossing somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll wait.
Well, Georgia Tech didn't really.
Do you remember it in the NFL?
No.
He was a guy who give him the ball, let him run.
Yeah, and that's how I felt about Quentin Johnston, man. I think he's really special when it comes to that aspect. And hopefully it's an offensive thing. It's a quarterback thing with him.
He's got a lot of upside. Exactly. Most upside.
Yeah, because you see him on these, like, fucking post routes, bro, and he is fucking butt-ass naked. Like,
let me
open.
go run 5 yards the other way to go get the ball because it's so underthrown.
Yeah, and I really like him. I was so close to putting him number one.
There was a game against Kansas State where he's matched up by like a 6'3" corner, and he just he played so well, I thought. And again, the TCU struggled against them, but just Max Duggan sucks is like the moral of the story.
And you know what? I don't think he did all that bad against press when Georgia played him. When Kelly Ringo?
Keely Ringo?
Yeah, Keely Ringo, the cornerback from Georgia. Doesn't really drop his hips all that much on his routes. He can really...
Route running's raw.
Really raw. Very raw. But
he's not a guy who's going to really win with route running in the NFL, though. He's just going to win because he's big.
Yeah. But I think his athleticism is good enough to bail him out in a lot of situations. His body is good enough to bail him out in situations. And he has a very high ceiling, like you said. And I'm so ready to see him in a
quarterback,
offense.
good offense.
Yes, I'm so ready for it, man, and I'm really excited about Quentin Johnston, bro.
Can you tell me your number 4 was number 3 was Jaxon Smith, your 4 was Quentin, and 5 was who?
Jalin Hyatt.
Jalin Hyatt, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to.
Yeah, but Quentin Johnston, bro, really love him. Demaryius Thomas was your comp too?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Demaryius Thomas Light was the comp.
Exactly.
Is there anyone else? There's a few guys I'd like to hit.
Yeah.
I like this guy, Cedric Tillman, 6'3", 213, 5'40", which is just fine. Just got the size and the frame. He's the other receiver in Tennessee. He's really good the year before. Got hurt this year, didn't play that much. You could throw it up to him. He'll toe tap. He'll drag guys around. He doesn't have the best speed in the world, but that's fine. He's 6'3". That's not his game. He's not the type of guy who's going to get a lot of separation. He's just going to be so big, you're throwing the ball. Reminded me a little bit of Alshon Jeffrey. Mm-hmm. He's not much with the ball in his hand either, but he has a role in the NFL as a jump ball receiver. I liked him a lot.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. My guy was Josh Downs, like I was saying earlier, 5'9", 171, North Carolina. Production kind of dropped off with the losing of the guy from Washington, Sam Howell. Obviously, makes me think a lot about Sam Howell, honestly. But attacks the ball in the air, ridiculous footwork, gets in and out of cuts, gets faster as the ball's in the air.
Yeah, he kind of he'll kick it into gear.
Yeah, catches contested balls, plays bigger than his size. Some of the cons, obviously, small as fuck. Scared to go over the middle. I seen a little bit of hearing some footsteps syndrome from him. Issues with drops at times. But summary, yeah, 2 different quarterbacks. Still great production. I like him a lot, and hopefully he can grow into his body. If not, I see T.Y. Hilton.
Wow, that's really high comp.
Yeah.
I have a question about somebody who I think is very decisive. Kayshon Boutte from LSU. Mm-hmm. Going into this,
you really wanted to love?
I really wanted to love him. You know me? Like a year ago, I would have like slapped him in there. But I like he's quicker than he is fast. He's decent with the ball in his hands. He's a good route runner, but I just didn't see like anything special about him.
Yeah.
And he's got this weird thing with Brian Kelly getting like fights with the team. And like, what did you think about Kayshon Boutte on film? I just wanted to like him. It's
underwhelming. Underwhelming. I got through about 3 games.
He hurt his ankle, and he's been hurt a couple times. And there's a game against UCLA where he just like has strong hands. So it wouldn't surprise me if he ended up being something. But more than like right now, I'm like not a believer just from what I've seen on the tape.
Yeah. It's not a good wide receiving class, bro. Just not at all.
A lot of number 2s and 3s in here. Not a lot of special. There's one guy I think who could be special. I don't know. Jonathan Mingo from Ole Miss. Looks like DK Metcalf, 6'1", 220, 4'4", 40, 4'4", 640.
Yeah.
Just a big, strong frame. It's hard to press this guy. He has to catch in the traffic. Can't run routes. He will destroy corners when it comes to blocking. I think he played faster than the 40, but he's so stiff. He doesn't get a lot of separation. Can't run routes. And he never like had a great year. He just looks like the part of a number 1 receiver, right?
Right.
So I liked him. He's like a poor man's AJ.
Fucking done. All right. You want to go superlatives?
Anyone else you want to hit? Did you like the guy from Purdue or Wake Forest, A.T. Perry, the big white boy?
Solid.
He reminded me of like a poor man's Alec Pierce.
A lot of these, it's like you're reaching. I feel like you're reaching for a lot of guys.
Yeah, and he's like 24, which is just like...
Yeah.
All right, I'm down to do superlatives, yeah.
And then we'll hit tight ends.
Oh my, I forgot.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's going to be fun.
Or do you want to hit superlatives at the end and throw in the tight ends?
Oh,
I think we should do that.
Yes, okay, let's go right to the tight ends.
Okay, tight ends.
Top
okay.
3.
Top 3. And we're in agreement, okay? Kind of. Right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, look. Number 1. Say your number 1.
Dalton Kincaid.
Okay, I can ride with that.
Utah.
Darnell Washington, number 2.
Yes.
Georgia.
Yes.
Number 3.
Michael Mayer.
Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and go over them. Who you want to hit first?
Who's yours? List.
I would.
You gonna wait?
No, I'm gonna go the same because I was telling you this earlier. I don't blame you. I don't blame you for having Kincaid.
If I saw like 20% more production out of Darnell Washington and just like, let me rephrase, not just production, like catching the ball. And the tight end, did you see Bowers at all?
Yeah.
How'd you think about him?
Really good.
Yeah, okay, he's the first. Yeah, really good, right? But they have this freak of nature who is just, he's humongous. So, okay, let's start with Dalton Kincaid, like you said. Guy, 6'3", 246, didn't run. He's pretty old, age 23. He just started playing football like 4 years ago.
That's insane.
Really good hands. Really good. Doesn't drop a lot of passes. Really good body control. He's a poor man's Travis. I don't want to say he's Travis Kelce, but that's how he is. He's just a receiving tight end. Mike Gesicki.
The way that Travis Kelce,
I think he moves too. Like he plays like a big wide receiver.
Bro, like Kincaid can be a receiver.
Yeah.
If you wanted to play him as a receiver, he can play just like Travis Kelce.
What would you guess his speed is? I think it's between the 4 5s, 4.56, something in there.
I would say this though. One of the most underrated things about Travis Kelce, not only can he run with the ball in his hands, like that is an underrated aspect, but the way that he manipulates zone coverage, the way that he finds the honey holes, as I like to put it, he is so amazing at that, and I see that from Kincaid.
Yeah, don't worry, this guy's not going to block a thing. That's not his game. No. You line him up outside.
And that's where I'm getting to. Pick your flavor.
Yeah.
You want a guy that can block and catch and be dominant in the run game and the pass game, like as far as like being a jump ball. Darnell Washington's your guy.
Yeah.
If you want a guy like Travis Kelce that can, maybe he'll just be out there blogging a little bit. He's not terrible. He can develop as one, but he's going to be a beast in the pass game. Pick Kincaid. I think it's 1A, 1B. It's really fun.
100%. I agree. And it's crazy to say that about Darnell Washington because I bet Darnell Washington didn't even have as many catches this year as Kincaid had against like USC, where he had like 17 catches. Like, I can pull up Darnell's stats, and I'm just very curious because I can't remember them now. He's not a guy who gets used. He had 28 catches this year. Or he had 28 catches in his whole career in college. He had 28 catches this year, 454 yards. Yeah. Dalton Kincaid had 17 catches in the game. But that's not what this guy does, dude. He's like another O lineman. He springs their run game. Look how Georgia plays. They're not like, hey, we got to air it out. We just got to run the ball, play defense. We'll win. 6'6",
264, 83 and 3/4 wingspan.
4'6", 4'40", which is really good. A vert, 31 inches, which isn't great, but he's so big it doesn't matter. Long ass arms. He's a red zone threat. Just line him up, throw it up to him, he'll go get it.
He's a freak.
He is hard to tackle because he's so freaking big. He moves. He reminds me of a young Mercedes Lewis a little bit of like a traditional Kyle Pitts because he's like, hey, I can just block.
Guess who he patents his game after?
Who?
Mercedes Lewis.
Are you serious? I didn't know that. I think the scheme really hurt him. And Bowers is really good. Bowers is like Kincaid, where he's just like the traditional guy.
I think, on a side note, if all three of them came out, who's number one? I think Bowers is one.
Bowers is 100%. You know, the one thing about him is he's not really the nuanced route runner. He's hard to kind of just shift, but that's not his game. He's just going to, like, move you. Yeah. Like, imagine Isaiah Simmons trying to cover him. He's going to be like, get out of my way. Yeah. Get out of my way. So, I really like Darnell Washington. So, it was very close.
Are you going to do the special comp and compare him to Gronk?
No. No one's Gronk.
Yeah, I don't think he's Gronk either.
I think Mercedes Lewis more fluid than him.
I think Mercedes Lewis is a good comp for early in his career, especially.
Yeah, and it's been such a long time. No one probably remembers that but us because we were like this when we started watching football. Was right. Guys, Mercedes Lewis was like a top 10 tight end in the league in Jacksonville. Jacksonville sucked. Yeah. No one knew about him.
A little bit too, just to have some fun with it. Algene Crumpler.
I loved Algene Crumpler.
Yeah, really I was thinking a little bit of him.
But he's like a supersized out. Algene's like 6'2". Yeah.
A lot taller. But Darnell Washington, another thing to say on him.
If the Raiders have a high second round pick and Darnell's there, take him. Take him. He's like, he could be your poor man's Gronk.
I think that's a big reason why Darren Waller got traded.
He didn't invite the guy to his wedding. That's pretty effed. Would you still be my friend if I didn't invite you to mine?
No. I wouldn't be your friend.
High five. Well, you're coming.
I think it's a big reason why the Raiders traded Waller, though, because how deep this tight end class is. You know, a guy like Musgrave who got hurt this year, didn't play a lot, but I like the tape on him. And then, of course, you got the three-headed monsters with Washington, Kincaid, and...
so why do we both have Meyer from Notre Dame 3? Like, what for you?
I need more. And I just think... there's not a special trait to him.
Yeah, he's going to be fine. Guys. He'll be great. Like, he won't be great in the NFL. He'll be really good. He'll be good. Just solid. To me, he's Brent Selleck. Yeah. He might have a Pro Bowl year once in a while, but he's just like so reliable. Like, hey, I'll move the chains. Yeah, I'll do the dirty stuff. But it's not overly great as a receiver. It's not overly great as a blocker. It's not like, oh, I can't match up with this guy. Yeah, he's big. He's 6'4", 250, but he's not fast. Yeah. So, and you know, Notre Dame sucked this year, so it was kind of hard for him. Don't think he's like the best when it comes to with the ball in his hands. He's kind of like a mix between Washington and Kincaid, but like he's just like average at all of the stuff in my book.
100%, bro. So that's our top three tight ends.
Yes, sir.
And we love them, bro.
Love them.
I'm so interested to see.
Let me be honest. I love the top two, and the third one, I'm like, he's good.
So the Patriots go with Darnell Washington.
Oh my God, people would hate that. I think Oakland, Las Vegas could.
I think Vegas is definitely gonna. I guarantee they draft a tight end in the first 3 rounds.
We'll see.
At least.
Okay, so we're gonna do our superlatives for the pass catchers, guys. Pass catching superlatives. Best speed belongs
Jalin Hyatt.
Okay, Hyatt for both of us. I would agree. Best hands.
I'm gonna go with Jordan Addison.
Jordan Addison. So I can use their tight ends. I'm going to go with Jaxon Smith.
I completely forgot about the tight end.
Would you say Kincaid?
No. I think Jordan Addison got better hands.
Best route runner.
Jaxon Smith. No. Zay Flowers. I'm going to go Zay Flowers.
I'm going to go Smith again. Okay. Most pro ready.
Oh, Kincaid. I think so many offenses are going to fucking love that guy. It's like Evan Ingram 2.0.
That's a really good, just not the freak of nature athlete. Yeah, man. I was going to say...
He's just ready, though. He's ready.
I'm going to say Washington just because I think the blocking, yeah. Only thing I really love, like, hey, you're going to get on the field. We need you to block. Boom or bust.
Oh, Quentin Jonhston. Quentin Jonhston, most definitely.
I'm going to say Hyatt.
Because can't you say, like, Quentin Jonhston has a little bit of, like, Kevin White syndrome?
Yeah, a little bit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a good one. Okay, most impactful.
Most impactful. I'm going to go with Kincaid.
God.
Yeah. He's going to hit the ground running. Because he's not going to go to an offense that doesn't use him. He's going to go to someone that's going to know how to utilize him.
I'm going to go with Kincaid, too.
It's going to happen.
Well, unless the Chiefs draft him and they're just like...
Like, there's not going to be a team that's like, you know what? We really like your talent, but you got to learn how to fucking block.
What if the Chiefs grab him and just like, hey...
That's what I mean. They're like, well, fuck it, dude. Just fucking go out there and run. Like,
yeah. Okay, highest ceiling.
Highest ceiling. I'm going to go with Darnell Washington. He can be really good. Because you can argue that, like...
I'm going Quentin Johnston.
Some people are saying fucking Gronk.
Yeah, I'm going Quentin Johnston right there. Highest floor. I'm going to go Jordan Addison right off bat.
Really?
He's just really high floor. Low ceiling.
High floor. Let's go with
Michael Mayer. I think he has a high floor.
No, I think I'm gonna go with Kincaid again.
God, I don't. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't see. Like I said, I just don't see him going to a situation where he's not gonna fit.
New England.
He's gonna fit there.
I feel like New England would be like, hey, we're gonna teach you how to block. I don't know. We'll see. I think he might sneak as the first one. I'd be shocked if Mayer was.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked. If
I had to bet Kincaid goes first, then Darnell.
I'd agree with that 100%. Yeah. I liked our list. I like the tight end stuff a lot. Yeah. It's very rare we get a good tight end class.
Very rare. This is very rare. If Kyle Pitts is in this class,
number one. Yeah, it's number one. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, not even
better
close.
Than Darnell?
Yeah, he's Darnell when he runs 4.4.
Yeah.
It's not. Oh yeah, it's his fault. Hey, Mariota, don't throw me the fucking rock when I'm wide open.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit that I have ever heard.
Sucks, dude.
Max Duggan syndrome.
Yeah, the big dung.
Okay, I think that's going to do it. We hope you guys enjoyed this wide receiver / tight end video of top 5 prospects / top 3. But make sure to hit us up on the draft, bro. We're going to be live streaming that day. All the day 1 picks, 1 through 32. We'll be there a little bit before, a little bit after, depending on what happens. But raw reactions all the way through, man. And if you guys live in the LA area, maybe stop by, be a special guest. Come meet some of our subscribers, bro. But Max, anything else?
No, man. Just I'm ready for the draft, dude. It's getting closer.
I'm ready for the draft, too. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Comment down below your top 5 wide receiver prospects. What do you think about Addison, Quentin Johnston? Are we fucking wrong? Are we tripping? Are we right?
I think I'm going to get some hate on Hyatt, for sure.
Probably. We always get some hate on our prospect videos, but...
We're here.
We're here. We out. Peace.